First, everything is a trend until it's our new normal. Why I'm saying this is because it's very true, right? Sometimes we realize a bit too late what just happened. And oftentimes a trend that extended his, I guess, previous views of timeline becomes our new normal. It doesn't mean it stays forever, but it does stay until people are very bored from it, they heard enough of it, or they're just kind of sick of it, right? But then that's when it changes. And in times, it could preemptively cause damages. And oftentimes I'm talking about bad habits, right? Bad habits that happened in 2020, right? When everybody stayed at home, there's many things that came with it. And many things that came with it was rotting in bed, That was a trend for a while now, And it had to be acceptable because we were at home. But when everything stopped being so controlling, like example in 2023, people loved staying at home and not doing anything, but that garners low social life, and maintaining friendship when you love being at home only, it doesn't really help. But there's so many things that came, and I need to say that I'm proud of Gen Z, right? Why I'm saying this, even though I am a Gen Z, maybe I'm biased, but I'm proud of Gen Z because the new normal that we have aren't as bad as the new normal that millennials or even other had, even though they had better economy. Why I'm saying this is because of this. Our new normal right now, if we're talking about clothing trends, it's not much about buying stuff that are necessarily expensive or stuff that are necessarily new, very new. Even though we are materialistic, our Gen Z brain thought of having trading clothes or taking clothes that were old and having it back to us is a good thing. Soldering, making our own clothes, taking thrift store. That's what I meant. Thrift store have been a very good thing to just not create more garbage, but to reuse the clothes that someone else doesn't need for our style, which is very good. Wellness trends. There's so many food wellness trends or even running clubs. Those are kind of wellness trends, right? You run with a group of friends. Before we were drinking with a group of friends. Now we're run with a group of friends. And also smoking. Well, not smoking cigarette necessarily, but smoking weed. Smoking weed is kind of way better than drinking alcohol. The damages that cause in your brain are way less. The physical pain and also, the brain busting alcohol brain in the morning after you just drink too much doesn't happen when you smoke weed. Well, the only problem is it comes with very, very slow metabolism, When you smoke enough weed, you become slow. If you smoke too much weed, you become slow, physically and mentally. But it's kind of way better than being destroyed by a heavy alcoholism. That's way better if you really think about it. No drinking, also travesty. Okay, this is maybe not the best, but travesty, that means, men wearing girl clothes, was a very good, very big trend from 2020 or even a bit earlier than that. And those men going to libraries where kids were I'm not saying I'm hating on it, of course. It's just it doesn't compute in my mind. It's just why mixing kids and men wearing girl clothes, exactly. And I come from a traditional background. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't think there's any value you can learn from it. There's no real value you can learn from it, except, again, maybe I'm biased. Maybe you can talk to me about in the comments. But again, I just see kind of something that shouldn't be mixed at all. Like very much separated. Very much. I'm happy that I'm not a kid that went through this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Again, first, one other point that I want to talk about is we're not a hive mind. That's the thing. We're a society. That means everything that happens, yes, we do. The social media does compute. It means it does show us the event almost immediately, like a few hours right after a main event happened or something important, or maybe not even something important, but just something that hooks us, and boom, 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 almost a neighborhood knows, then maybe the whole country knows in like a day or so, a day or two, at least if you are actually that important. But that means why I say we are not a hive mind is we are so divided in the many complications that situation could happen. That means we become essentially the judge, and that's something that it could be bad, it could be good, because I know there's so many cases that have been solved just because the right person was there to see that post and just did some research that the person knew could do, and then boom, we just have an answer. And that's, for me, in my mind, it's incredible. So many cases have been actually solved, not just because we are just there, we're just watching stuff happening, but so many cases have been closed because we are checking information, we are gathering internet as like just, it's incredible. I don't know how they do it, but it's incredible. We have detectives working for free to find the suspect, the crime, and etc. It's, again, very phenomenal. But the bad side of it, there is a kind of a huge bad side of it. I saw a trend that was there was a man, black man, with his white wife. I'm saying this for no reason. I'm not race. Who cares about it, right? I'm saying this just because it's how it is, right? Black man with a white wife, and the white wife was missing. Yeah, exactly. He was missing, and he cried on camera because, yeah, of course, your wife is missing. Of course. But when you were seeing the comments and also the many videos, shorts that happened afterward, we were accusing this man to have killed his wife or did something very, very bad to his wife. That's why the wife disappeared. And imagine being an innocent man, losing the love of your life, the mother of your child, in an instant, and you do not know what happened. They were saying, oh, he must know what happened. Oh, he must. They were acting as judge and executioner with no facts whatsoever, just by thinking that they can guess the demeanor of the person right in front of the camera. That's why it's so dangerous. That's why it's so dangerous. And afterwards, when we found out that actually the wife had mental issues before, and because of that, she sadly very much killed herself with the car. That's when everybody broke down and said sorry. Some people didn't say nothing whatsoever, but some people said sorry. And hopefully that's enough for the person to, I just hope that the person didn't see much of these videos, but probably he did. And I hope at least he saw the many apologies that many people did on his behalf to say sorry. We thought the worst thing about you without even knowing you. And we just drag you to the mud without even thinking about it. And that's when investigation by police investigation, that's why they are so important. We still need them, of course, even if we were to have many people on the internet solving cases. We still need them because they have to be impartial. I cannot expect the general public to be impartial, but at least we can hopefully put the trust in our, not mostly trust, or we're not gonna say we don't, Gen Z, we don't really trust the system, of course, but there is part of this system that still kind of works, and that's where we can sometimes think that could work better. And this whole resume was to talk about trends, the fact that it can change in shapes, and they do change and shape our society, but also the hive mind that we kind of are but kind of not, because mostly of social media, can benefit us and also kind of destroy us in some ways. Thank you for listening. Please comment if you need. Take care.